Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday morning, February 8th. I'd like to focus in on the possibility of a coastal storm this weekend, affecting the eastern part of the nation. Looks like a storm will form in the early part of the weekend over the southeastern part of the nation. Then it probably moves far enough to the north to have an impact on the mid-Atlantic region late Saturday night, Sunday time frame. There is no real cold air mass around. However, it does not mean this storm system cannot produce some snow or sleet. Storms like this can sometimes generate their own cold air. By that I mean have enough strong upward motion to bring down, really literally bring down cold air from the upper part of the atmosphere into the lower levels of the atmosphere. That could result in a changeover in some parts of the eastern U.S. With the storm system from rain to sleet or even snow. And another big factor will be elevation. Certainly higher elevations of, let's say, the Western Carolinas, higher elevations of the Mid-Atlantic region will have a chance of a changeover from rain to sleet or snow with this upcoming storm system. First thing I want to look at, and I'll focus in on this over the next couple of days, is the orientation and the exact positioning of that upper level wave of energy. What we're looking at here is from the 0Z run of the NAM model, 500 millimar height anomalies for Saturday morning. This is the 84-hour forecast from last night's run of the NAM. And notice the orientation, first of all, extends from the northeast to the southwest. This is what we call a positively tilted trough axis, and it's kind of centered over the Tennessee Valley. Now, if we look at a couple other models here, substantially different. Here's the GFS model. Notice a little bit more of a neutral trough axis and farther to the west, a little bit slower here with the movement of this upper level wave of energy. And similarly, the Canadian model from last night is even a tad farther to the west, maybe centered over Louisiana, and more of a neutral type of orientation to that trough axis. So this is something we'll monitor. Again, that particular wave of energy is just now moving into this region, and it dives to the south and east over the next 72 hours or so. And ultimately, where this ends up will have a big impact on where that surface low forms. But it looks like surface low could form in this region and then kind of ride up to slowly to the north and east and potentially impact the Mid-Atlantic region by the time we get to Super Bowl Sunday. Well, let's now walk through those a couple of models, the GFS model here and then the Canadian model. These are both from 0Z runs last night. First of all, starting off the day here on Wednesday, mild, partly sunny skies in the Mid-Atlantic region, high temperatures of 50 plus degrees, maybe 50 to 55 from DC to Philadelphia to New York City. Notice here a lot of moisture down across the lower part of the Mississippi Valley, the south central states, of a little bit of a flow out of the Gulf of Mexico right into this region. We often talk about the clockwise flow around highs and counterclockwise around lows. Well, that is promoting some moistening up of the lower part of the atmosphere in this part of the nation. Indeed, this could fuel some severe weather right here over the next 12 to 24 hours or so with this current system here. That's not the one that will produce a coastal storm over the weekend. This is a front-running storm here. So let's move forward here with, again, the 0Z run of the GFS. Again, we'll have to watch out later today with possibility of some severe weather down across Louisiana, Mississippi, right in this region right here, maybe extending into Alabama as well. Cold air influx causing some snow by later on tonight in the middle part of the nation. And that storm system goes almost due north, but pretty much north to northeast towards the Great Lakes, ends up producing some accumulating snow over the upper part of the Midwest. This is by midday on Thursday, and with that counterclockwise flow ahead of it right here around that low pressure area, we have an influx of mild air into the Mid-Atlantic region, even milder than today. On Thursday afternoon, it could be 55 to 60 degrees in that DC, Philadelphia, New York City corridor, with a chance of some rain shower activity. Then we'll move farther ahead in time and we'll start to focus in that system slides a cold front through the mid-Atlantic region later on tomorrow night into the morning hours on Friday. Brings a little bit cooler air for the end of the work week. But here we go now, heading into the upcoming weekend. This is Friday night, and now by Saturday morning, notice this is the time where we had that upper level feature that now is over the Pacific Northwest over the next 72 hours, dives to the south, and he's pretty much located somewhere in this region right here come Saturday morning. So again, that is going to be a catalyst for the storm system that here we see starts to form right here over the Carolina coastline come late Saturday night into Sunday morning. Again, even though there will not be any cold air around to start, this system can generate its own cold air by featuring some strong upward motion, and basically that causes some cold air aloft to translate down to the near surface level and could result in a changeover from rain to sleet or even snow, especially in those higher elevations of the western Carolinas into the interior mid-Atlantic region. Again, this is the 0Z run of the GFS for Sunday morning. At this time, excuse me, that upper level feature really sets off intensification of that surface low and does slide to the northeast and has an impact into the mid-Atlantic region. This is all the way now into the latter part of Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, with a lot of snow potentially in some of those higher elevation areas, western Carolinas, maybe western part of Virginia as well. And we'll have to watch. The I-95 corridor region will certainly be a little bit harder to change over, but even there's possibility of rain changing to a wintry type of mix, maybe sleet and snow getting involved even into the I-95 corridor region. Quite a healthy storm here at this particular time, all the way into Monday morning. Then it finally moves off the eastern seaboard by Monday morning. Well, now let's take a look at the corresponding run of the Canadian model. This is from 0Z last night. Again, a mild day in the Mid-Atlantic region. A lot of moisture riding in off the Gulf of Mexico into Louisiana and Mississippi, the lower Mississippi Valley region. There can be severe weather later today into tonight. Now, let's keep moving forward here. This current system, this front-running system, moves to the northeast towards the Great Lakes, slides that frontal system right into across the lower Mississippi Valley. This is by later on tonight. Again, watch out for the possibility of severe thunderstorms. Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, maybe even into Alabama and Tennessee. That moves into some colder air over the upper part of the Midwest, could certainly produce some accumulating snow in places like Iowa, Wisconsin, maybe upper part of Michigan by midday on Thursday. Meanwhile, out ahead of it, we have that influx of even milder air, a warm frontal passage moving from southwest to northeast across the mid-Atlantic region early in the day on Thursday, paving the way for maybe 55-degree highs. DC, Philadelphia, New York City, along with the threat of showers, but it doesn't look like a heavy rain event by any means on Thursday in the Mid-Atlantic region. Now, let's then move forward here. Frontal system slides across the eastern U.S. late tomorrow night into early Friday. Does not have all that much cold air behind it. Moderately cold air here. Here we go now into the morning on Saturday. This is when we were looking, again, at that influx of energy at the 500 millibar level that will set off the formation and intensification of a storm system right along in this case, the Georgia coastline by late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Notice already a little bit of blue showing up in those higher elevation locations. Again, that'll be a key factor with this weekend system, elevation dependent possibility for snow and sleet later on Saturday into the day on Sunday. And here we go, a healthy storm system, 998 on the Canadian model by midday on Sunday. Certainly some heavy rain is a possibility along the coastal plain. Inland snow and sleet possible as this storm system can generate its own cold air from pulling down cold air from aloft into the lower part of the atmosphere during the day on Sunday. We move forward in time, maybe even enough for a wintry mix in some of those suburbs of the north of the I-95 cities, north and west of D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. That remains to be seen. Even some heavy rain is a possibility with this system. This is all the way now into Sunday night, so certainly looks like this is slowing down the overall scenario. A couple of days ago, it looked like this system would have an impact on Saturday. Now it looks like more of a Sunday type of system for the Mid-Atlantic region. Will go all the way into Monday morning, and that's when it pulls off the eastern seaboard. So certainly something to monitor over the next couple of days here, next few days, specifically with respect to that upper level vigorous wave of energy that will dive from the Pacific Northwest into the lower Mississippi Valley over the next 2 to 3 days, and it'll set off the development of a coastal storm somewhere along the Georgia, South Carolina coast come Saturday morning, and then move slowly to the north and east, likely having an impact in the Mid-Atlantic region late Saturday night and on Sunday, which happens to be Super Bowl Sunday. And there can be some elevation dependent snow or sleet out of this system. Let's say the higher elevations of the Carolinas and the Mid-Atlantic region late Saturday night into the day on Sunday. Certainly a system worth monitoring over the next few days. And don't forget, later today into tonight, severe thunderstorm threat for places like Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, maybe even into Tennessee as well. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.